Welcome to the Workbench with your hosts Tommy Burgess and Anthony Del Grosso. Enjoy the show.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Woo! I'm back.
All right. Wound up tight, I see, too.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. We're ready to talk about some good stuff tonight. Back from guys, let me tell you something. Food poisoning is not a damn joke. It took me 3 days to get over it. And to be honest with you, I still ain't 100%, but we close enough. Come on and talk about some things tonight. We're gonna cover a few topics right out of the gate. We're gonna bring a young man on here in a little while to talk about some of the RCing he does, just to give some exposure to him. But tonight, let's talk about some upcoming races, Anthony. I believe this week y'all travel to the great state of Pennsylvania to do some Motorama 66-foot indoor
Yes, on polished
racing.
concrete. That is, went there last year. That was one heck of an event. Um, the track is, if you went to any indoor race, let's say, what, 2 years ago? Was that the Coliseum? Three? I don't know how long ago that was. That was a little
Two.
bit. So
Well,
about
it's
two
been
years ago.
24.
Yeah,
24.
so about, 2 years or so, the Coliseum, polished concrete. It is definitely a really good track. There's a lot of natural bite just because of the way they clean the concrete. And guys, it's smooth. So you know what that means.
No
You can let
bumps.
no bumps. You can let the prep just roll down the track.
Do they put anything down up there at all, or they just let the.
Now, so last year I'm pretty sure they sprayed the shutdown to help you slow down.
Yeah.
Um and it wasn't needed on the track. The track was really good. I mean, I think we went two coats pretty much, some OG preps. We weren't really using anything heavy. I'm kind of excited to go. Last time we went there, it was like a snowstorm, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Seems
But
like
yeah,
snow going to races is the thing. Well,
no rain.
the drag racing side, Anthony will tell you if you haven't been to it and you're going to go to it the first time, it's not just a drag racing ticket. It is a damn
Oh,
circus of everything. You've got motorcycles, you've got off road, you've got battle bots, you've got go karts racing indoors, you've got indoor dirt oval. Custom Works and G4P will be represented there. I know Max and Dustin and all of them will be there. Stop by, see you guys. Alfie Adams, and then put on a great dirt oval deal over there. So and plus the midway, if you want to buy helmets, gear, it doesn't matter. You
they
can
have
find
everything.
something that have everything. Car is there a car show in there too? I think. Or am I
Oh, there's a
wrong about
car. There's a no. There's a car show there.
that? Okay.
I mean, they have a little bit of everything in that car show.
Yep.
Some of the pro mods that race on TV shows you see. Chris Rankin's gonna be there. He was there last year with all of his cars. It's something to see.
Yep.
That's for sure.
So that'll be this weekend. So it's a pretty action packed next couple of weeks. The following week, the Desert Classic kicks off, the Pro
Yes.
Series out in Tucson, Arizona, guys. So all the people going to that, safe travels, good luck. Same weekend right here, local, will be Shady Sides Winter Nationals. That's where I'm going to go do some limited prep testing. Uh,
Ooh,
might not run worth a flying hoot, might run good, who knows? But as long as the weather's not crazy, stupid cold, I'm gonna go. If it's gonna be like 39 degrees, I'm not going. So that's my disclaimer. I'm not wanting to go freeze to death.
no.
Uh, yeah, I done got soft and old. And then at the end of March, we got March Madness, which brings us to some great, great, great topic for tonight. I got 5 minutes and I'm gonna light some asses up. So Mike decided to hold a poll as to whether the DTO class would stay DTO,
Now,
drive
guys,
tire
he's
outlaw,
he's talking about March Madness.
March Madness people, not anything else. March Madness in Warner Robins, Georgia. Mike McCutcheon and Jamie Bennington putting that race on. Sponsored by BBM Mike Bush. Thank you again, Mike, always for all the help you give us. So this deal here is it was a question: do you want to go ahead and convert over to limited and just run with the national rule set's going to run, because guys, DTO outlaw is dying off and it will be replaced by limited prep. That's the way it's going to be. Sorry. I'll get into a few things of why, when, where, and how on that in a minute. So he puts up a poll, people vote to make it limited. He listens to the racers, and then you got a couple people get on there and they're pissing and moaning. That's the easiest way I can put it. It's real simple. The people that were pissing and moaning ain't going to make it past the third round.
No, usually they don't.
So, and we want to talk about an even playing field. Well, I'm going to go back to something Josh Searle brought up a long time ago that made a lot of sense. And if people don't know, I'll help you. If you ran true dry tire, and I'll go ahead and tell you right now, everybody that was in dry tire at the elite level, at the top level, did not run dry tire. We ran to the limit of the rule. That is what you were supposed to do. The rule said the tire can't be shiny and nothing can come off on your hand. And you had to wipe it with either naphtha or brake cleaner after tech. That was the rule. So I fully took advantage of the rule. I showed everybody on the internet how to do it. If you didn't do it, that's your damn fault. Period. I showed you what I used, how I did it, how I made it past tech. And if you didn't do it, that's your own fault. You can say, spirit of the rule. Spirit don't pay shit. I cash paychecks at the damn paycheck window. That's what I'm there to do, to race. I don't know. I'm not there to kumbaya. I brought all my friends in the damn car with me when we got into the racetrack. Period. I'm there to win money. This is not a hobby for me. This is a damn professional type effort to try to win money. Now, if you want a hobby, like they got Cross Point, I heard they got Scrabble tournaments at old folks' homes and bingo and shit. Go make that your hobby. This is it is what it is. Message. Bro, you go on live every Monday. Yes. Yes, JFab. So at the end of the day, I'm going to explain to you why it's better to go limited prep racing than to continue DTO. In limited prep racing, everybody's on an equal playing field. It's a truly dry tire that you get one coat of PJ1. That's it. In DTO, I've been accused of tattoo guns. I've been accused of vacuum sealing my tires, all kind of shit. I understood how to get the most out of the tire. Some people didn't, which gave me an advantage. If anybody in the country should be mad, the fastest fucker in DTO right here should be mad about losing his advantage. I'm not. I want to go limited prep racing. Why? Tommy pick pros. No, not on my screen. It's not.
Yeah, it's a little frozen there. Oh, there you go.
Okay. Well, yeah. You know what? I'm streaming a lot of shit at the house. Might not help.
Probably not.
So at the end of the day, it's really simple. If you go true dry tire racing, he who has the most brand new red Voodoos wins. Because I can just keep putting a brand new fresh red Voodoo on and you will not outrun it because it's stupid good. It pulls more than the old pool meter would allow back in the day with just simple green on it. So by putting something on the tire to get it at a maximum traction level of a new tire, you equaled the playing field for money. That's why it was good to do that. Now, okay, limited, you don't have to worry. Everybody's got the same amount of traction. Everybody's got one coat of PJ1. Now, tuning your shocks, tuning your ESC, tuning your radio, you get to see who sits at home on the workbench and does that right there and figures it out. Even more now. So that's why it makes sense. And for all the people that want to run dry tire, well, hell, go run your dry tire. There's pro stock. There's other stuff. It's just, I don't. There's people beating their chest about it. Man, okay, we evolve or die. Period. And we've evolved, and those who will not will just fall by the wayside. So that's enough about that. And I got one more thing I want to bring up. A sponsor of mine ran into a problem today with a customer, a shitty customer in Pennsylvania. So a customer purchased a brand new motor off his website. And for whatever reason, it didn't associate a price with it. So the customer paid $0 for a motor. When my said sponsor messaged back and said something, he says, tough shit. Legally, you got to sell it to me. Ha, ha, ha. No, that's being a piece of shit. Like there's a glitch with the system. You know
Yeah.
that you wasn't supposed to get a motor for free. That's a motherfucker looking for welfare is what that is. Don't be one of those customers. And here's what I encourage my sponsor to do. And I encourage all the manufacturers in drag racing, RC, or anything. Y'all need to start a do not fuck with this guy list because he's a piece of shit. And y'all need to put it on Facebook and list why he's a piece of shit or she. That way, other manufacturers can go, yeah, I don't think I want to deal with that person because they're a shyster, they're a thief, they're a crook. Like, guys, you know, if there's a mix up or something like that, like, hey, I just purchased a motor and it didn't charge me anything and it said order accepted. Well, you know, there's probably going to be some communication. Hey, something happened with the system. You know, we're going to charge you. No, you got to legally sell it to me. No, that's being a piece of monkey shit. That's what it is. It's just BS. BS. Hey, I don't believe in it. I believe all the sponsors should put that list together. And when they put that list together, people should not do business with them because they're trying to steal from you. Don't deal with people like that. Just don't. It's horrible. It's horrible people. All right. So tonight, guess what? We get to talk about radio tuning, ESC tuning, when, what, where, and why. And we kind of covered a little bit with Tom a couple weeks ago. Tom kind of just like, you know, scratch the surface. But so for me, radio tuning, ESC tuning, I get the ESC close to what the track will hold, and then you fine tune with the radio. I think a lot of people, I think that's the common thread that people use. But what is close? And what does it mean to you when you say, what's close, Tommy? When do you know your ESC is underpowered or overpowered? So for prep car for me, used to, my rule of thumb was when I got to 25 point, I thought that if I had to keep running out, some people run as high as 45 and 50 point in their car, and they're successful with it. But for me, I felt like I had, the more points you run, the lower the less you can tune out back, or the middle of the track. You're losing a window. So the question is, you have to know, like, for every point I put in a car, how many speed points does that mean on a Futaba, let's say? Let's say I want to go from 20 to 25. Well, that's a pretty good step if you got your ESC close. Okay, and you say you've been around 50 on the second stage speed. I only run 2 speeds. I'm a Power Glide guy. So if I want to go from 20 to 25, but I'm on the edge at 50, where have I got to put that second stage number to not knock the tire off, to take the hit, but not knock the tire off? Because now you're 5 points higher. You're going through 5 less points of end point. So technically that 55 acts about like 53 when you go that way, or maybe even 60. Just depends. Some people say 1 point equals 2 speed numbers, 1 point equals 3. I mean, I think to go from 20 to 25, you'd probably be going like to 58. So now you were, oh, damn, I couldn't hardly hold 50. Can't hold 58. So what have I got to do? You got to back it down to about, say, 44. And you'll learn. You'll learn, like, it's all about time to 100% throttle. I mean, that's what we all work on, the 100%. Excuse me. It's time to 100% ESC power.
Yeah, and if you're on the M17, I will tell you, there are charts out there. But understanding that, like, if you're running negative 94, now I'm just saying, you're rotating, you're trying to rotate there for a little bit. If you're doing like negative 94 at 114, okay, we asked this question before, so obviously we know what the answer to that is. That's like 0.71, to 100%. I mean, that's scooting. But I've seen guys out there with 0.3s. So when I was in Puerto Rico, I seen these guys on the M17 at 88s and 89s with 125 to 130 EPA in the car. I was quite surprised.
The Puerto Rico guys do it a little different.
Oh yeah,
They, this will cause a little heartburn, I'm sure. When you see them post a time, count how many seconds from the time the car touches the pavement till it leaves. We don't race like that. That's the ideal prep situation. They are literally pow. They are sitting in the goo for less than a second most of the time. That's not realistic in what we do, but that's the way they do it. Hey, more power to you. If I ever had to go down there and race, I guess that's what I have to adapt and learn how to do too.
oh yeah. I mean, they move it.
On the M17, my favorite used to be -96, and I started out the day on 110 EPA, and would wind up, if the track's really stupid fast, 132, 138. I stayed there because I felt like I understood what a couple clicks in the EPA meant. -95 worked good on a really soupy racetrack. That was like, hey man, this place is a mud bog, go to 95, or this place is pretty good, run 96. Some guys would they left their EPA at like 105 and they go 96. Oh, it took it. 95. Oh, it took it. 94. It took it. They just keep rolling down the chain till it wouldn't take it and then back up. I mean, I get it. That's kind of how you ESC tune in a way. Like if you're on a Rockwell, he's got curves. You just keep going up the chain till you won't take no more and back down, then fine tune. 100 Ways to Skin a Cat, M17. I think most people, I mean, -88, my Lord, pow. But now, see, if you run if you run more ESC power than you do boost, you got to hit it hard.
Mm-hmm.
So, like tune, this is where radio and ESC have to match one another for how they work. Like most of the time in prep, and we're just going to throw generalization out here. When you get to a road and there ain't nothing on the road, nothing, most people are somewhere between 35 and 45 their first dot. I think that's fair to say.
That's pretty fair. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Usually my first tune for bare road, never been on it in a bone dry, my first thought's probably around 25. But I also, the way I tune, like when you run those lower, numbers, it kind of spreads out your tuning window. Kind of the way I look at it.
Well, I'll give you a nugget here that a lot of people don't really understand or hadn't thought about, I bet. So, okay, used to when I ran OG prep, 20 to 25 was my first dot. You're right, Anthony. But as we got into the really aggressive, can leave harder on just about a naked road, you can run more. So, okay, if your first dot's at 20 and my first dot's at 40, obviously, probably our points ain't going to be the same. Let's say all things are equal. You're running 50 degrees of boost in R1. Let's say I'm a ghost guy, but let's say I got R1 too, and I'm 50. So I'm going to leave on more power. It's just okay. Now, here's something that I want people to think about. This is probably something Tom won't sit down and talk about this. I ain't going to let the cat out of the bag. Here's what I want people to think about. If I have 50% ESC power, I'm just saying 50%. We're not saying dot right now. Just think about at 50%.
Oh,
Huh.
there he is.
Yeah. 1 degree of boost at 50% ESC power versus 1 degree of boost at 30% ESC power. Which 1 degree of boost makes a difference, you reckon? More. Which degree is more? You got 30% power versus 50. 1 degree of boost. Which one makes more power?
I think you just actually asked the perfect question for
I
one of
know the
our
answer.
giveaways. I know you do.
I know the answer.
I know you do. But let's see if other people do, because this would actually be a good question for one of our giveaways tonight, actually, because one of our giveaways we have from Steve from Red Monster is going to be doing, I think it was $25 prep package for the person who answers the question. Well, Tommy just asked it.
Yeah. Somebody chime in right quick. And kind of, and you ain't even got to give a why, because we'll go over the why here in just a second. Which 1 degree of boost means more power? Like, let's say, did 1 degree at 30% give you 5 horsepower, or did 1 degree at 50% give
Now you
you?
got Tom in here. Tom's chiming in.
Ah, I didn't want Tom to chime in. Damn it!
Well, he didn't give the answer though, but he did kind of speak some information, which is
I can't.
facts.
I can't see Tom's chat. Well, I might need to turn the chat on here.
So yeah, man, boost.
Yes. So
Boost.
with the R1 is start power. Yeah. Well, Tom, let me ask you this, because I don't even know the answer to this question. So this will be a learning thing for me. If you turn your start power to 100, does that mean it's 1-to-1 with a graph, or is it a fixed power number?
A good question as well. I mean, I can tell you guys, I've made passes with 100% start power and passes with 10% start power, and I've gotten good results on both of them. Now, some of them I wouldn't recommend. I usually don't ever tell people to go any less than 40, but in certain situations, that start power can definitely make a difference on the line.
So everybody keeps saying if you put 1 degree at 30% power, it means more. If you have a ghost, the graph might tell you something. So, but everybody that says 1 degree of timing at 30% power means more than at 50. Why? Just give me a general why now.
He's got to
My start
switches
power,
tonight.
you see. Yeah. Ivan's on 85 to 90. Ivan means business.
Evan's trying to rotate the earth right off the bat.
It's earlier in the power. Guys, you're thinking about that I'm asking you through a ramp. I'm asking you at a stationary power number. You're at 30% power output and you put 1 degree on it. And then you go to 50% and you put 1 degree there. We're not talking about through the ramp. Take that out of the equation.
50. Joel says 50 punches harder.
Thank you, Joel. So it's a debatable question to a point. Let's put it this way. How many guys in here have ever run nitrous on a big car? In a big car, there's a minimum RPM number you throw timing in for a reason. Because at low power, you can actually start choking the motor. Like, you'll see a bunch of guys want to be, let's say they turn their motor 8,500, they might not turn the button on until 5,000. They want to make sure the motor's got enough engine speed to choke all that in. Go ahead, Justin Williams. So
depends how you have your boots set. Oh, your boots set on
boxes, he probably meant. So here's what I'm saying. When you dabble, when you've got 50% power, And if you can go back and look at your logs and you put 1 degree on 50% and you see the RPM difference versus 1 degree at 30, you'll be like, huh. Like boost is so violent because it tries to accelerate the rotor so hard early. There's a lot of people that get boost choked, or I'm just going to call it timing choked. They've got so much timing on the motor at the wrong RPM that when it finally gets to the right RPM, the car will go, it'll leave harder. A lot of times you need to try, it's kind of like air fuel ratio. Is how I look at timing and RPM. I wished it was easier to run boost by RPM, because if you ever slip the tire with boost by RPM, she sinks to the moon.
Oh, it's over with.
Yeah. So, you know, when you look at it, guys, most of the time, 1 degree does better. When you put 1 degree on 50%, you made more far.
Oh, far.
At 30% throttle, you might just piss it off. Now, in a ramp, you've got to find the timing through the ramp for your RPM level. Your FDR plays with this too a little bit. Guys that run big FDR can run. It's easier for their cars to accept boost early because they can choke it. They can run through the choke. And guys that run lower FDR, and I don't even know what low FDR is now, because it's kind of the top number in FDR has changed so much in the past year and a half.
Yeah, I've seen some pretty crazy FDRs. I've seen all the way up to 13 on a 4-pole. I was kind of shocked.
I personally think that most of your top runners, and I'm speaking out of an opinion, not fact, because I don't know. It's real simple. I think most of the guys that are winning money are somewhere. I know they're in the tens. Now, where they are in the tens, I do not know.
That makes a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, I've told everybody my dry tire. I lived around 9.6 on a bare road. I lived around 10 flat on a prep track. Everybody's like, well, why? I said, well, I can't hit the car that hard. So in my experience, when you throw FDR to a car, you have made power. So I need to choke a little power down in the car. I just need to lug the car. I need to lower the wheel speed potential. For me, I just want to, just like an old dump truck motor. Just let it, and I didn't run real aggressive boost. I only ran 15 boost. So I was real low on boost, so I had a bunch of torque down low. You know, if you run a bunch of boost, you need FDR. If you don't run a bunch of boost, you can kind of pull. You know, when I say a bunch of FDR, let's just say from 10 to 11. 11 is a common, somewhere around 11. 10, 8 to 11, 2 seems to be some common numbers for boost. FDR.
FDR, yeah, absolutely.
So that changes your ESC tuning. So you kind of say, I want to go run this FDR, and this is how I want to tune. Or this is how I want to tune. This is the FDR I got to run. And then your radio is just how fast you can poke it in. Your point is like your leave RPM in a big car, and your speed is, how fast you're pouring the power adder to it, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I think most people, I would be curious to know what most people's too wide open is. And when I say wide open, let me rephrase that. I would like to know, and ain't nobody going to tell it, what like Tom's or Rick Talbot's 100% ESC power time is, not throttle time. There's a difference. There's a difference between getting to 100% power and 100% throttle pull.
Some people are not going to understand what you were referring to, but it's all in the logs, boys. Look at the logs. The logs will tell you everything you want to know.
Well, it's in your ESC power map. It's how you set your power map up, people. Your power map is on the left side on R1. That's from 0 to 100% power. On the bottom row is the EPA, or the throttle pull. Throttle input, I should say. Throttle input. I'm sorry. Throttle input. Okay. Can you get to 100% power before you get to 100% throttle pull?
You could, but it would just be, yeah, huh? You could, but I don't think that would really be what you want.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of people. I've seen a lot of tunes that dispute that theory.
Yes.
So the answer to the question is yes, people. You can get to 100% ESC power before you get to 100% throttle input. And that's just by moving your last dot over to the left in a R1, in a Ghost, anything. Now, you might ask, what would be the help with that? All right. You would say, well, why don't I just get the faster speed? Well, with an R1, y'all can only delay turbo.
Yeah.
Through turbo delay. You cannot, in theory, like in a Ghost, I can dictate where my turbo starts through a throttle percentage.
Yes.
So I can say I want my turbo to click on at 99% or 80% or whatever, throttle input. So if I want to get the 100% ESC power, let's say somebody says, well, I'd like to smooth my transition from boost to turbo out. How can I do that? Well, in a Ghost, you could say, I want to be at 100% throttle at 90% input. And that would give me the 10% time lapse at 100% power. Then it will put in turbo. If I was at 99, let's say. Or the R1, you can now see, here's the thing with the R1. With the R1, it will actually have a timing delay. You can say, I want to be 1/10 of a second before the turbo turns on.
Holds it out.
Yeah, that's so you think about it, you go like that right there. Or you get in a Ghost, you can go to full power, hold a bunch of power, then add more time in at 100% throttle to your throttle pull. It depends on how you want to smooth it in.
Smooth power is good power.
Yeah, like in your logs, like on my Ghost log, you can see when I start laying turbo in the car. The volts go. They never change. If it's at 7 volts, it lays it in and it holds 7 volts out the back door. If it's at 6.9 or whatever, there's debate about how much you should have in the tank, so to speak. But I like what Frank Obert used to tell me. He says saving gas is for losers. If it's flying,
Yes.
if you go out the back door at 6.5 and it's running 100 mile an hour, who cares? We've bought instruments that are not up to NASA grade calibrations and specs. So more than likely, it is what it is.
We're going to run into those situations, guys. You froze again, Tommy.
Can people hear me, though, is the question.
They can hear you.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Then as long as I don't look like I got, the Oogie Boogie face, just have to deal with it.
So if you tune with the radio, do you turn
no,
off
Enzo, no, Enzo, that was bad. That was horrible, Enzo. So if you tune with the radio program. So guys, I tune as basic with the Ghost as you absolutely can tune. And that is, I don't run start power. I tune with boost and turbo, and I do not run that like that. There's power by throttle. It's as close. It's basically, I took my R1 stuff 2 years ago and tried to emulate it into the Ghost, and it really rolled over pretty simply, except I felt like I've got, how I'm going to tune a dry tire or a limited prep car now, I've probably got a little more control in certain areas than the R1. But that's my opinion. Like everybody's going, there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. I'm just trying to skin my cat this way.
Let the numbers prove it.
I mean, yeah, I mean, when you go tuning with the ESC, you need to be pretty close. Like, you don't need to be way underpowered or way overpowered. You need to be, if I'm leaving on 45 and let's say Anthony's leaving on 55, well, if you go 50, you're probably going to be close on your first dot, and then you'll tune in your point. I don't care to run a bunch of point. Anthony may love to run a bunch of point. I don't. I know some guys that, man, tells me, man, I just keep throwing the point to it. To me, that tells me your ESC's under power and you're giving up some window out back. But guess what? If you're winning with it,
Don't mess
I
with
don't
it.
care. I don't care. Do what you got to that day. If you don't feel comfortable going there and changing it, don't. But understand, like, what you can gain sometimes by, moving the first dot. Like, you can move it 2 or 3%. You ain't got. I ain't saying go in there and move it 5. If you're close, I'm gonna tell you somebody that does it real well. Mike Bush. Mike Bush will get in there and he will move one number here, a number there, maybe 2 right there, and they'll go pick up 2 numbers. And you say, well, they're already fast at the top end of the class, so picking up 2 numbers means something.
Absolutely.
Kevin, God bless you. That's harder for me than it is. I can't, the ESC, I get it close. Look, my point is going to be somewhere between 7 and 12. And my second stage speed is going to be somewhere between 40 and 75. Those are my numbers with my tune. And those numbers will go run 2 flat, and those numbers will go run 145 at 103. So I've got a tune right now that I feel is absolutely really crazy adjustable. Now, when we get to single coat PJ1 racing that I'm gonna start testing, I might find that, man, I might have to work on that bottom number a little bit to get the power up, or I might say, hey, we're used to 12 was what I really felt was getting after it at the point. 15 or 16 now is. I'm still below my internalized 25, but like, total timing. I think Chris from Pinky, we talked about how the motor views turbo versus how a motor views boost. They're not the same. A motor eats boost, and you see more dramatic effects down low than you do putting tons of turbo up top. And what I mean by that is 60 degrees and 10 degrees, let's say 60 boost and 10 turbo, is different than the other way around. It's night and day. It's a whole different ESC map. It's a whole different radio tune. But you say, well, Tommy, it's 70 degrees. 70 degrees is not 70 degrees. How the motors, once they get up in RPM, and I've got a rotor right here. Our 4-pole motors, you see it has 4 magnets. I hope I'm not froze and you can see it.
You're froze right now.
Oh.
Well,
I'm unfroze.
Unfroze.
Yeah, okay. That's 4 magnets. When you're turning 60,000 RPM, you might not, 1 degree of turbo might not equal as much power as 1 degree of boost down low. So it's wait, we can't see it. Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, Tom has some great tuning packages.
Tom does.
I don't know if Tom still does tuning package deal. I don't know. I know Tom does a lot of work with that, and it's 4-pole has a built-in gyro. Where's Cody at? Jesse Kinder, that is great. I love that.
Jesse, he's always walking. He walks in every room with a wooden spoon. He is just right there, like just
right. I can't. I'm so excited to see everything kick off this year. I'm excited to see next week. Not that Motorama doesn't mean anything, but I'm saying for me to see the first race of the series kick off, see how all that goes. Will there be some growing pains? Yes, please, guys. Don't think it's going to go perfect. I hope it does, but there might be like a little hiccup here and there, and it'll work right through it. That's huge for everybody. Everybody, you need to get behind this and understand why it's important for it to be successful and how to support it.
I think Gary is ready with our guest.
Well, Gary, bring this young man on. Anthony, you know more about him than I do.
Yeah, absolutely. So this young man that you guys are about to see, hello, Miranda.
Hey
You want to
guys.
introduce your son to the world?
This is Keegan. He's 14.
Okay.
Just
So,
started into the RC truck pulls.
all right. Well, Gary, do you have a video of this young man playing with his truck pull? Oh, what got you into this?
Um, really, I mean, going to friends' houses and seeing RC cars and stuff, and then my dad's friend said, "Oh, come look at this, like these RC cars," and then with my dad being in the semi trucks and all that, that really hooked me into it.
All right. Do you do any other forms of RC racing? Do you do dirt oval? You like to
Nope,
bash?
just pulling.
In due time, trust me, that's where it starts.
Yeah. It
Um,
spreads.
it spreads like wildfire. It's expensive.
It does.
So I see that is that a new truck of yours? Did you put that together with your mom?
No, I bought that, I think 3 years ago now.
Okay. Now, what kind of power plant are you using in that?
Um, I don't even know.
I think it maybe is a Castle Sidewinder. And I think you have a Mamba Monster green can in there.
For your engine. It's the green canister.
Yeah.
So, what do you feel would be, what do you think you need more out of that car or out of your tractor to pull?
Um, maybe I feel like with the one that I have, it's not. It responds late.
Responds late?
Yeah, so like with that, with those, you want the power to be like right away. That way, it can get off the start a little with more power.
Hmm. Well, I think we might be able to help you with that a little bit. So we did have, we have a pretty nice community that we have. One of our racers, Gary, he might pop on the screen, he might not. He actually donated a ghost motor. And I am working with a few other guys to try to get you a new ESC that we can tune and put some real power in that thing. So we can kind of help you get down that, track and have a little bit more fun. The kids are the important part on what we do in all of this. Obviously, we're a bunch of grown men playing with, toys. But at the end of it, most of us have kids, and for us to continue doing what we're doing, so you guys can grow up and actually have fun with it. So, like, we would definitely like to help you out. Um, I'll be working with your mom. Obviously, I see her on a daily basis at work. I'll be kind of showing her how she can help you out. I'll probably be leaning on Tommy, man over here that's froze, um, to help me with your ESC tuning. He doesn't know it yet, but he does now. Um,
Oh, it
but I
won't be
mean,
no problem. That's
oh
easy.
no, I mean, I think we have a battery coming from Supa. When I was speaking to Supa's looking for an ESC that he might have laying around. So I think we'll be able to help you. I mean, I want to see some more videos. The next one I see, I want to see those tires growing a lot bigger and see if you can pull it a little bit further.
Yeah.
Now, is that body that's on your truck, is that a Lexan body or is that like a 3D printed body?
That's all 3D printed.
All 3D printed?
Yeah.
The whole car is 3D printed?
So
Jesse.
the how to call it, the not the frame but the outside, so the hood and the fenders and all that, that's all 3D printed.
Okay. What's your favorite colors?
Probably John Deere green and chrome.
He's not an NLG like me.
Your mom definitely likes her green, that's for sure. Well, I just want to tell you it was really nice kind of having you on. I don't know if you can see the comments on the bottom here, but like Jesse Kinder, Jesse Kinder's an amazing guy. He's a goofball, one of my good buddies. He's an amazing guy, and it looks like he's telling somebody to just take care of the ESC.
Yeah.
Jesse.
He said, "Super, send him an ESC. I'll pay for it."
Mm-hmm.
So
So I think we're gonna
you're
have
going
some
to get
fun
an
with this.
ESC.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
absolutely. I mean, I don't know. I know there's some other people in our community that do this. Tommy, who are you saying does this?
Thomas Vassy, he's a GFRP guy. He's into it up and around Thomas. Tom lives up in Indiana area, I think Indiana, Wisconsin, somewhere around there. He lives near Madison area. Anyway, he's eat up with the RC tractor pull stuff. Like he gets into it. So he's got like 5 or 6 of them. He'll go do it and he wins. He's pretty good at it. So I might
Hmm.
I might ring up Tom tomorrow. And Tom is a engineer pretty much for some race teams, like prototypes and stuff. So he knows some stuff. I might say, hey man, get some pointers so we can kind of get an idea which way to tune it. I mean, I can tune it to like be a ball of fire, obviously, or we can tune it to come out, to do whatever you want to do. And there's a lot of it that you're going to have to get and learn. Like, hey, I did this, and this is what happens. So you have to get your notebook and a pen, and everything you do, write down. Everything has an equal and opposite reaction. So start getting some notes. So
Hey,
we'll turn you into professional dirt slinger, buddy.
and don't worry, I'll make sure your mom has to bring you some extra RC cars just laying around that's collecting dust. We'll get you hooked, bud.
Oh,
But
Yeah, I'm sure I'll be heading home with something from you.
I'm sure you will. I'm absolutely sure you will. I mean, we were already asking like how they make the chassis, like if they do them 3D printed, is it carbon fiber? I'm like, man, how do we make this kid like something killer and just send him back to the track to where people are like, where'd he come from? What? Yeah, Jesse
Absolutely.
Kinder asked, what controller is he using, Miranda?
It's just a stock Traxxas.
oh, lots of room
Oh,
for upgrade there. Oh,
oh,
oh.
So his play around RC car is a Revo Traxxas.
Yeah, it's the one that Pete had.
yep.
Anthony, you've seen that one at the shop.
Yes, I did. And it said, Super Aaron right here just said, he's like, I got the ESC. So you got a motor, you got an ESC. We got some other little things for you. So your mom will definitely be bringing you some packages. But we are going to need the truck. We're going to have to repo that truck for a little bit so we can get everything inside of it. Everything.
Especially from Dad's house.
Yeah, that'll be a hard one.
Yeah.
I'll leave that one to your mom.
You'll find a way.
Somehow. I find a way for everything.
You do find a way for everything.
We're definitely, yes, Gary, we're definitely going to add some power to this gentleman's tractor. I think it's kind of cool. I know a lot of, people probably don't realize, but Gary Campbell, he used to do this, but he did it on a larger scale. Obviously, he didn't do it RC racing. So I thought it was kind of neat. We would bring this little gentleman on here because it's kind of close to Gary's heart, stuff that he really enjoys. So if you guys ever see Gary, like you can give him a hard time about tractor pulling. I'm sure he'll love to show you videos. Um, but I kind of like the idea. I like the theme about it. When Miranda told me about it, I was kind of like, hey, that's kind of cool. Like it's different. And I mean, we all do something different when it comes to this kind of stuff. So I thank you for getting into it.
Hey, he
See,
got me into it. I went to the first when I took that video that was played earlier. That was my first one that I had been to myself. Obviously, I've been to the actual larger scales more most of my life, and I enjoy that side of things. So to see him actually, put his heart and soul into something such as this, that it's on that smaller scale, it's actually pretty nice.
I mean,
Yep, that's more me, and you should know that, Anthony.
yeah, that's Miranda. So if you see this right here, this right
Yep.
here, yeah. Well, I will be bringing this to work for you. She's gonna bring it to you. Um, Obviously, it's a drag car. You can kind of do whatever you want with it. You can have some fun, but it is set up to drag race. It's box stock. Have a little bit of fun. We want to see the kids having, fun in all of it. And like you said, them getting into it and enjoying it. That's what's really important.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Carbon chassis. I'm not too sure if they're allowed carbon chassis or not, Dustin. That I'm not too sure of. I mean, I don't. And some of the rules that I read, it didn't really say that we couldn't make our own. So it kind of leaves it to be wide open. And you know how us racers are. Like Tommy said earlier this evening, we like to live in the gray zone and push the lines. That's what we do. 100%.
I can see there being a some gray area to be worked on.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
When
mean,
she showed me it, I was like, "Ooh, what's the rules?" Ask her. That's the first thing I said to her. I was like, "Hey, what's the rules?" And she's
You
like, "Oh,
did,
here
and
you
I had to
go."
tell.
I mean,
Absolutely.
that's a racer situation, right, Tommy? What's the rules?
it's funny because I'm sitting here looking at my Pro Mod, figuring if I can figure out a way to put them big back tires on there and put a body on it, that's an inline. And I promise you, ain't nobody at Tractor Pull gonna want to mess with that.
Oh no.
No, no. I'm
Are you
gonna
talking
put a
about the challenge?
good,
Are you talking about the Challenger?
yeah. Think about
Which
it.
by the way, guys, that is one heck of a car. If you can find one, better scoop it
GFR
up.
Team GF. Oh, they are still in stock.
Are they?
Foam tire went to take off, and then the landing gear got snatched off the airplane. What platform is the tractor based on? Yeah, so like I imagine there's probably some. I've never seen a
I think
RC tractor pull kit on a main. I'm not saying there isn't
no.
one. I've just never looked. So
I
a lot
know.
of this stuff is probably custom made. Probably
Um,
wheel based and weight limited is
yes.
probably.
So I think she said he was in 10-pound class.
Yeah, I run pro stocks.
Okay.
So it can't weigh more than 10 pounds. Hmm. I think we can. I think we can do that.
I mean,
Yeah, and mine's sitting at like 5 pounds.
oh, you got room.
I got five
See,
pounds of room.
it's funny. So your mom gave me that video, and I sent it to a couple of my buddies, and Gary immediately said, "Those front tires didn't even come off the ground." He's like, "He needs some weight." And you said you're only at 5 pounds, and you can go 10. Ooh.
Yeah.
And then need to find out what the draw height is on the hitch
Where
and the
I
draw
where
length.
I have where I have mine right now, it's I would say it's pretty close.
So you don't have enough ground speed at the hit, is what you say, is your problem.
Yes.
Like when you pull the trigger, it just won't get on up there and go. So
Yeah.
you're about to get enough horsepower to giddy up and go. Then you're gonna have to figure out how to balance your weight. We need to find a way to put 4.85 pounds on that tractor somewhere and balance it forward and backward based upon the track. So you done made a lot of work for yourself, little man.
I
Yeah.
mean, you can have a lot of fun.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, you have a lot of guys in here. Gary says Fitch's average is 1.5 to 2 inches high, if memory serves me right. Well, Gary,
Oh
you're gonna have to knock the dust off that bottle, my friend, because I think we're gonna dive deep and help this little
yeah.
man. Maybe put some
The,
podiums in here.
the pulling community does not know what they have a coming.
No, no, not at all. It's drag racing, boys. But you're pulling sled and it's in the dirt with tractor. So
Can you put can you put stuff on your tires?
here we
No.
go. Well, is there a rule against it?
Yeah. Like, do you clean your tires and put conditioner on them and wrap them up every week?
No.
Oh, young man, you're leaving so much on the table. You're hurting me. You're hurting me.
Actually, kind of funny.
Lord help, Anthony. This child's been spotting these people too much. Time to turn the screws on them.
I think, obviously we started our show, we're having fun. I think the bench here is going to stay kind of in touch with what you're doing.
Right.
The,
We
the
need progress
workbench,
reports.
yeah, the workbench definitely wants to stay in close touch with what you're doing. Help you as much as possible. Obviously, like I'll get you the information, get your mom the information so she can, keep you with Tommy, myself. We want to know how your races are going. When you're doing races, like look at mom and go, hey, go on the straight line and join the page. Like, subscribe, do whatever you're gonna do. But go live so they can watch. So other people can do it. They can see what's
Yes.
going on. Yes, we're gonna make them rotate the earth. We're gonna turn those tires into pizza cutters, boys. Yes, and the RC Corvette, we will be conditioning tires and wrapping them up with cellophane.
Oh yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of some different things going on here, boys.
Oh yeah. We're gonna pull out
Listen.
the dirt oval tire treatments.
Evan, if you know someone that's making the 3D printed tires for the tractor pulling, please just go ahead and drop something in our inbox and let us know.
Now that was one thing that he did just get,
Yeah.
2 days ago? He ended up just getting a 3D printer himself.
Oh.
Well,
Yep.
I can tell you right now, 3D printers are a lot of fun, my friend. We have a lot of people in this community that do 3D printing and are very, very good at it.
Yep. Give a lot of pointers and help.
Absolutely. So Miranda, I take it this way. Say, make sure you're doing your job up front, selling parts, because you're probably gonna need that money.
I'm
He's gonna get
only
hooked.
as good as my technicians are at finishing cars.
Hey, we finish the ones we can finish and can't finish the ones that are just too far gone.
I know, I have us buried currently in work, so
Thanks a lot.
no problem.
But yeah, I definitely like Gary's talking about clocking the tires and getting them cut. But if Supa has the connection for the tires, Supa, obviously we talk on a daily basis. But guys, if there's any pointers, anything you guys want to put in on this, please send Tommy, myself, Gary, Poncho, Brad Waldrop. Let's just throw him in the mix so he can be busy sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Gary.
Let him know.
Too.
And we'll be more than happy to have some fun with it.
Wait, Gary was there a couple weekends ago?
Yeah. Gary's the one I bought my tractor off of.
Wait. Gary
Wait.
Campbell. He supposedly brought that tractor off of you.
Gary Campbell. Hold on. We got something going on here. Gary.
And
Adam
Granger. I know him too.
Granger. Yeah, he was just at the tractor
It-
pulse that we were at.
For some reason, my video won't work, but it wasn't me. I've been out of polling for
I don't remember his last name.
I've been out
Okay.
of polling for probably 5-6 years now in the RC polling. But I had a 2-wheel drive, a 4-wheel drive, and a semi. I never had a tractor.
You're not a hard
Okay.
person to forget.
He
Gary.
thought it was you because we were just
I mean,
at
there
one.
is a bunch of people sexy as me, but it wasn't me.
We were just at a poll 2 weekends ago at Soul Road Auto Parts in Swanton.
I said that place you were at. I remember Adam was there.
Yeah.
So, I remember a lot of them guys.
I think Adam was drinking Busch Light probably before
That's it.
9 o'clock.
That's all he. Yeah, that's Adam. We'll leave it at that.
I'm ready to use info. I got tonight and start testing. Start testing, buddy.
All right,
So it was nice having you guys on.
Yep.
I think we lost you there, Anthony.
Me or you?
Lost all the sound.
Ooh, Gary. Well, can you hear me, Tommy?
I can hear you. I hear everybody.
Well, guys, I don't know if she's here, if she's not. That's Miranda and her son, Keegan. So,
Yep.
Obviously, if you guys have anything you want to talk about, bring up pointers. Anybody maybe want to say, hey, I might want to 3D print this guy a body and let's get it painted. Let's work together and have some fun. We appreciate you guys coming on. And
Right.
hope you guys, Super, you got to be careful what Super says.
So he's going to bring the Ghost ESC logbook for him so that he can write down all his data and stuff.
Right.
That's huge.
That's huge. That is big.
When you want to get competitive there, Keegan.
Yeah, I think we can see everybody move, but we can't hear you guys anymore.
That's
Not
all
sure
right.
what happened.
Well,
So they're out of sound. At least I'm not froze, I guess.
not at this moment.
Not at this moment. It could refreeze it any second.
It could.
I might have to just use my data instead of live off my Wi-Fi here.
Yeah. Well, Gary, if you want to go ahead, I don't know if they can hear us, but if they can, deuces. It was nice having you guys on this evening.
Appreciate it, Miranda, Keegan. If you can hear us.
You can hear us. You guys have a wonderful evening.
Well, that's a little bit different segment, Anthony, of the hobby. So
A little bit. I mean, like I said,
a
guys,
little bit unique.
doesn't have to always be about drag racing. I
No.
mean, I think Tommy, Tommy's you guys is a huge oval guy. Dirt. Loves it.
Yep.
Breathes it. So, I think a couple of these are definitely going to be dedicated to some stuff like that. And there's a lot of things that you can learn in the drag racing from those kind of stuff, from that stuff, the setup, the way they go about things, the way they look at stuff. There's a lot to learn.
You know what the biggest takeaway from dirt oval to drag racing was? That I feel there's so motor and ESC and battery, that two different genres. They have some crossover, but the biggest thing that means the most, in my opinion, I don't know that they're hard to get, but if you can afford a Huddy or something like a Huddy setup station.
Oh, Osmatics.
There's
Huddy.
Temu versions that are good. I mean, literally, there's cheaper brands that are it will do the same.
Yeah.
You would be surprised having a good asymmetrical squared up car, what it does, and understanding how to. Yes, I have the 10th scale off-road version, that comes with all four and all that. just making sure that like, and turn your car on with the radio and, get your servo. How about a motor with a HT rotor? I'm
HE rotor, I'm assuming is what you're trying to say.
Well, no, there's high torque,
Well,
if
the
you're
high torque
DRK.
rotor. Yeah.
HE rotors or single sleeve. I felt that understanding keeping your car square, level, side to side, just keeping it in the box, meant it drove better, it responded better. That's one of the biggest things that I took away from dirt oval to drag racing. It's just not throw it down and go straight. It's a lot of dirt oval guys kind of think it's what we do. Some of them know better, but
Yeah, the ones that really race know better.
so Mr. Maldonado is talking about how about a motor with a HT rotor? Potato, tomato.
It all depends
I,
on how you want to tune it.
I've told everybody what I run in dry tires is stock 6600 DRK with Nick Bell built, obviously with Nick Bell bearings. That's it. Standard rotor. Other people, they run black can HEs. That's got a little stronger rotor in it. Some people in the DRKs run the option high torque rotor. They all respond differently. They all do different things. I think, for the way you tune means there may be a rotor that better suits your tuning style.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Been a
like in
while
the
since I heard
box.
that term. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
my grandfather used to say that when I was a kid. It's funny you say that because that's true.
it's people. I'm telling you, like, so just for some thought here, the people I raced with 5-6 years ago when I was running dirt oval all the time. Jack Deerhart, probably one of the best foam tire 17.5 racers in the country ever.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start talking about, like Dustin and Mark Horns and Max Floral and Jake Floral. Oh my God, if there's ever been a carny that races, Jake. So, but then let's talk about some of the famous people that race that you don't know they race. One of the most ingenuitive people, Jim Poleman. I had to race against Jim.
Yes, Tommy
Jim,
done Chili Bowl, I'm sure.
no,
Yeah.
I have not done Chili Bowl.
No.
No, I've done Motorama. I've done the February Freeze. I've done stuff like that. Jim Poleman is Kyle Busch's crew chief for the 8 car and Cup. Jim's not an idiot, by no means. Danny Stockman, he is the championship crew chief for the Xfinity for Jesse Love last year. Danny lives just up here. I had to race against these guys, good friends with him. Had to race against people like Arnie Fye. All these people, and then you locally, like Stan Brackett is a wheel. Used to race against Mike Ottinger. His dad was LD Ottinger, the NASCAR racer. All kinds. I do want to do the Chili Bowl. I guess I want to run old man sprint, maybe midget. I might do it next year.
Just tell Boss Man.
Boss Man would have me there just for the laugh. That's not an issue. So it's there's a lot of really crazy smart people in dirt oval, like savant smart, and there's a lot of them that race big cars. That's just what they do in the winter too. There's a lot of guys. Think about it, Jody Miller. He's my paint guy. Hell of a wheelman, multi-time national go-kart champion. Him and his brother build some of the best go-kart engines in the country. Period. So you can go on and on and on about, all the people in dirt oval. Some of us migrated. Then you take like Frank Ulbrich. Frank on carpet oval. Woo.
He was a force.
Frank's work ethic, and then Rick Talbot. By the way, let me take just a second to send condolences to Rick Talbot. Rick Talbot's wife passed away here shortly, a day or two ago.
Yes.
After a battle, I think what he said was with cancer, and Rick's a pretty good guy. Every time I've ever talked to him at the racetrack, super nice, whatever. Another thing I want to bring up, take like 30 seconds, talk about men's health. Go get your checkups and everything. All of y'all that have raced in the Virginia area, Maryland area, North Carolina, Brian Vinny. Brian Vinny he's a pretty fit dude. Falls out one day at the house, has to call his wife to come get him to the emergency room. Next thing you know, he's got like lumps or masses in his liver. He's been in the hospital, just, getting over that, all that stuff. He posted all that about Facebook. He's never been like sick, never been that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you look at Brian, hey, looks pretty healthy. Go do all your checkups and stuff. I ain't saying a checkup would have called, I don't know, but I'm just saying, just go do your checkups. He had a 21 or 23 millimeter tumor or mass in his liver that they had to take out, and they found more in there. So, and thankfully, it seems like he's doing better. Mike Mercandile seems like he's on his way to doing better after having some jaw surgery. So, guys, thinking about you, Rick. Sorry about your loss. Hey, Brian and Mr. Merck, y'all need to get better. We'll see you at a racetrack. Think about that stuff, guys. Show topics for next week, guys. What's some more stuff that you want to talk about, like heart procedure for Jared on April 8th? I mean, guys, a lot of things that go on as you get older. When you're young, we put our health off. What's some more topics y'all want to talk about? Because in the end, it's really about what y'all want to learn and know as a community that helps us. That's fact. Definitely. Yeah, I mean,
yes,
I hate going. I have to go for a bunch of blood work every year.
Scaling next week.
Scaling. I could talk about that. It's kind of boring. I mean, I could talk about scaling and maybe add another topic. Side bias. Yeah, front to rear bias means more than side to side. Side to side is important. Don't get me wrong, but like I'm a 35 gram lifter, heavy kind of guy. That's how I've always ran my cars. It makes them drive straight. Setup. We've talked setup. That scaling can be in that setup. Now, Anthony's setup is vastly different than mine. And I would assume that Rick Talbot's with the DRC car is vastly different. And I would assume the Super guys is vastly different. Setup, body mounting, important.
Oh,
Ooh,
guys,
that's a good one.
That's a good one right there, boys.
Yeah.
So as I sit here, I'm mounting a body. I'm not going to put it all up. We can't show it off.
Really body mounting is part of the set. Reading logs and how to apply that info better. Log reading. Super and them are probably the best at it than me. I'll be honest with you. I cut a bunch of channels off. I only pay attention to about 3 to 4 things. And for me, I don't want what I need to know to get lost in the noise. See, in a Ghost ESC, you can turn certain channels off. It'll record, but you can just not have them on the screen. I look at RPM. I look at RPMs and stuff like that. I look at time to 100%. I look at application of timing, application of throttle. It might be more than I have to really think about. Race day routine. It's kind of individualized.
Or race team routine, or just somebody? Yeah, because that's something you do. You have your own. Brian Henry's is different from Travis's, and Tommy's is different from Dustin's, and
yeah, Dustin has whatever Tommy routine is, because Tommy's the one doing it
with the Adidas, and then he's got the slides with his computer chair.
It's like, hey, what I need to put the numbers at here? What I need to put on the tires? This, okay. That's kind of how drag racing was for him. Do you have procedures you go with? I think I'm more methodical at home than I am at the track, if that makes sense. I'm like, before I go racing, I have make sure this is pack list. I have a Did you check this, this, and this list? And for here lately, it's don't wipe off wind and dirt. So like in dry tire, the maintenance schedule goes, or limited prep, the maintenance schedule come back up. But I think there's more out of this right here. The setup, body location.
Body mounting is definitely a crucial thing.
Yeah, body mounting's crucial. I got to think about that. Like, people are going to get really bored with how I do a lot of this.
Well, I mean, but also they're going to be able to understand, like, okay, this is a day of where I'm going to do and how I'm going to do this. I mean, and they're just going to have to look at it like and apply it to themselves. I mean, maybe we grab a couple of randoms and ask them how they do theirs.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I have built a program of vanilla ice cream for a reason. I figure when I show up every week, like everybody knows what the numbers you have to run are now. Most of these good races are going to be in the 30s if the weather is not an issue. You're going to have on some prep tracks, maybe some 20s, but you're going to have to live in the 30s if you're getting to the finals, probably. Dry tire / limited prep, the number's going to be 50s. You're going to pull back about 10 cents and a half. So the question with all that is, what's your off the trailer tune and how do you get to what number you need to run? That's part of the procedure that I think is more important than what people need to know. For me, I show up with a vanilla ice cream cone every time. And if the track wants sprinkles, I put sprinkles. If it wants chocolate syrup, I put chocolate syrup. If it wants that's literally sounds like a BS answer, but it's not. The tune in the car hasn't changed in a year. The radio is the only thing that changes. The radio slows the car down. I know how to go run a 195 with my car off the trailer, straight down the track at 88, 87, 89 mile an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I see somebody just rip the earth, I know how to go rip the earth. I know my numbers. So my radio tonight, my ESC and my radio, I'm at a point to where I know what to do to go how fast I need to go. And I don't have to get in the ESC to do it now. There's sometimes I might need to, if I want to be stupid and really try to go after a number to sometimes I'll go throw a number out there to scare people, to make them get out of their comfort zone. It's part of a head game.
Sometimes you chase the number so you can see how many people start wrecking the car to chase that number.
I have done it when they called out 145 and 103 up there at Shady Side. Every other dry tire car was knocking the batter boards down, trying to do it. Guys, if your car is only capable of running, let's say just 155, if you go out there and go 155, 155, 155, more than likely, you're going to win far more rounds. You might not win the race. Who knows? Sometimes stupid people like me take a good car and screw it out of the track and go out because of my own ego. I can go faster. And that's what happens. So sometimes you don't need to worry about going the same fast as ET. You don't know you don't know. There are some racetracks people like to pull the game with how far they stage. I caught a man 6 inches back of the line one time. He went out there and went a 139. I said, no, that's about a 151. I was smart enough to see it. And then you see all that stuff. So there's some gamesmanship. I'm not saying it's bad. There's some gamesmanship out there, but we can talk about a lot of those subjects next week. There's how fast you run on Saturday is how well you did your homework Monday through Friday. How you went over your car, checked the nuts and bolts, make sure your bearings are good, maybe read a couple of logs or sat down and really thought about, this is where my car wasn't where I wanted it to be. It was having trouble here. Where do I go work on you might change the shock and oil package. You might change chassis rakes, chassis ride heights. You might change, I'll say it, but there'll be some people say no. You might change the geometry in the rear end of the car to do something different. You might change your roll centers. You might change your camber link angles. You might change your, camber link totals. You might move them longer to slow it down. You might shorten them up to go faster. There's a lot of things. That's a lot of dirt oval crap that people.
Hey, I think is funny. So everything that you're saying, guys, and I'm not inspired by this manufacturer, but the Exotech car that was here 2 years ago, everybody made a big fuss about it. I'm gonna be honest with you. You put that car in the right hands of somebody who knows what they're doing with that style of car, and you won't beat them.
No.
And I'll
Josh
tell you
Sherrill
why.
said as much.
But no,
What? Where?
go ahead, Tommy.
Josh Sherrill said as much. Josh said that car will do things that you can't do with what you have now, and it will totally obsolete everybody else's stuff.
Oh, yes.
But remember, there is no get without give. So to get that ability, you give up durability with that car.
Oh, yes. It's very fragile.
So it probably had more significance as a chassis and dry tire than it would have in prep tire. Because prep tire, we could make traction. All of it that you wanted, including sticking to the racetrack. Imagine that. Never seen it, but I heard it could happen. So, but in dry tire, it could be, technically you could lead the line with 4 degrees of toe.
It's active rear toe.
Yes. But if you touch the wall, you got to come back. All kind of crap has to happen. You have to know, basically you have to know how to mess the car up.
Yeah, untweak
it. Like we're talking, guys, if you tweak that bad boy 40,000s, 20,000s, it could want to drive left or right. It could want to crab. It could want to launch and get out there and rotate. It's got a lot of great, but that wasn't the direction the sport to keep people in it needed to go. And I know there's a couple people out west that I'm getting called everything under the sun. That's okay. If you're on me, you're giving somebody else a break. I got a big enough ass to carry the load. Well, not as big as it used to be, but still. It's real simple. You can't make your racing like Formula One because not everybody understands Formula One and wants to compete at that level. But you've got to make it interesting enough to keep the smart people interested. You got to want to make people want to kind of keep working on the mousetrap to make it bigger.
Yes.
I mean, Tom doesn't stop. All these other companies, they're doing stuff. I mean, right now, what would you say, Anthony, is the limiting factor of us going any faster?
Right now?
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly think that the manufacturers have kind of reached their point. That they could do a couple little things, but not much. I mean, the limiting factor, I think, right now is probably us running into batteries. We're making so much horsepower. If we really wanted to go a lot faster, we're going to push those batteries even harder. That's my take.
I think horsepower is the limiting factor now, whether that be motor or battery or ESC. I mean, the Ghost, it's not a knock. The Ghost is going to handle more than an R1. The Ghost will handle 3S.
100%.
The batteries, we're at the mercy of what China wants to do or what we want to do. Motor, dude, whoever would have thought you would turn a 4-pole motor 100,000 RPM 2-3 years ago?
I mean, when we started this, 70,000, 75,000 was like, man, that's a lot of RPM for a 4-pole.
Yeah, because
60,000.
that green can would turn that black rotor to dust. Poof. So, and we were running like 7.6 and 7.8 FDRs.
Yes.
Okay, so you think of where we're at now versus where we were. FDRs went up 4 points almost.
Almost.
So you're turning a big block dump truck Chevrolet motor out of its mind. The motor is there needs to be some motor efficiency. And this is like me and Aaron Klein talk about this, and Nick Bell, and so there's like 2 drops of juice left in the motor in the current design form. The ESC, the R1 for 2-cell efficiency would actually help it because it wouldn't have to work as hard.
Yes.
Battery wise,
Unless you're going to go spend a bunch of money to have one of these. And don't get me wrong, guys. There are manufacturers out there that will build you
whatever you
100%
want.
cells, whatever you want. Now, don't think you're going to spend $140 on it. We're talking $300 or $400 for 1 pack. And that's on the low side.
I don't, and I'm not 100%. There's some more guys that are smarter on battery stuff than me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you keep a LiPo technology. It has to be some kind of other material to handle the rapid discharge. Like Anthony says, that battery price might triple. So you might go from $100 or $180 battery to a $700 battery. That'll kill the sport quicker than anything. The short wheelbase. Wheelbase is kind of, I don't think wheelbase is going to get us faster. Could be wrong. Aerodynamics at 100 mile an hour means something. So I want you to think about this. People think, oh, if we could just go, well, Tommy, if you could go, let's say you run 99 and with your car and you go to 105, you're going to be so much faster. No, you're not. Well, you're faster. Quick and fast are 2 different things. Quick is the clock number. Fast is the mile an hour. Do you realize, and I don't think people do, how much harder it is to get ET from 66 foot down rather than 0 to 66 foot? There's more time to be made to half track than there is half track to the finish line. Gain. If you're already running 80 mile an hour at half track and you only accelerate to me 98, 97, let's just say 95. I only picked up 15 mile an hour. And think about it. In dry tire, I'm going 1 flat to 66 foot, and then I'm running a 50 something out back. Okay, I've got a half a second to make ET versus a second to make ET. Where am I going to go make more ET at? Up front. So that means better application of traction, better management of the power. It's going to get harder to do that. And then when you start trying to run 105 all the time or 106, 107, these tires ain't made for it, guys. I'm sorry. The Voodoos and Accelerates are probably going to get pissed off somewhere when you start running mid-hundreds. Like, pow! Like a brand new, not overheated, not abused. I know somebody's going to come here, I could run 115. Well, good. It's like, okay, I get it. How many times can you run 115 on that tire?
Right.
And then, hey, when you start running 115, guess what else comes into play? Nobody wants to talk about. It has nothing to do with racing, Anthony. Spectator and participant safety on the big end. Because if a car going 110 mile an hour hits a kid, I don't have to tell you the ramifications of what happens.
No, that happened to my daughter when we had Frank's race at Michigan. Brandon Golay actually lost control of his car. Probably hit Bella close to 80, 90 mile an hour right in the leg. He got really lucky.
Very. So it's something to think about. But guys, we will take these topics for next week. We will consider them. We'll come up with some, we can kind of do a setup, scaling, and body mounting all in one. The logger eating, I would rather.
We grab somebody for that.
That might grab a couple folk. Might have to grab an R1 specialist and might have to grab a ghost specialist on that.
I think we got some.
I think we got some people that can fill them bills. So, guys, if you got any questions, anything like that, y'all know where to put them. Y'all know where to send them. Me and Anthony's going to hop off here tonight. Thanks for Keegan for coming on. And I think this little fella's about to get a whole lot of homework that he's not used to. And we ain't talking about from school.
Yeah, well, his mom's in for a big surprise. That's for sure.
Sometimes ask and ye shall receive. So, guys, from myself, appreciate it tonight. Thank y'all for coming on.
You guys have a wonderful evening.
Peace out.
Thanks for watching The Workbench, and hope to see you next week.